How many relationships have slipped through our fingers simply because we got in our own way? Hey, it's Andrea from Ladies First, and today we're talking about When Harry Met Sally and how it captures our longing for true emotional intimacy with all the overthinking, missteps, and defenses that go along with it. When Harry Burns met Sally Albright, it was a disaster. He's a jaded cynic, convinced that life, love, and people are mostly disappointing. She's a peppy idealist with a need for control that borders on compulsive. Their shared car ride from Chicago to New York quickly devolves into philosophical sparring. Harry declares that men and women can't be friends because
the sex part always gets in the way.
Sally disagrees and writes him off as unbearable, and so they part ways, confident they'll never cross paths again. But life, as we know, doesn't always honor clean exits. 5 years later, they bump into each other at an airport. Sally is dating someone new, someone she's certain is the one, and Harry is newly engaged. The conversation is as awkward as ever. They part again, still not quite ready to admit any deeper curiosity about each other. 5 more years pass and they run into each other at a bookstore. This time, both are single. Sally's perfect relationship has ended, Harry's wife has left him, and for the first time, they actually enjoy each other's company. Time, disappointment, and loneliness have taken a toll on them, even if they're still guarded against love. But as they hang out more and more, it's clear there's a sense of relief in finding someone who truly gets what they've been through. And so they become friends, actual friends, the kind who call at 2 a.m. to dissect Casablanca, who help each other carry Christmas trees, who walk through museums making funny voices, and even more importantly, they let each other in on their private joys, vulnerabilities, and secrets. Take the film's most iconic scene. Sally admits that women fake orgasms and proceeds to prove it with theatrical brilliance. It's hilarious, yes, but it perfectly encapsulates how often we perform intimacy for our partners. How much energy we spend crafting versions of ourselves that appear emotionally available while keeping the real stuff tucked away. This truth comes as a surprise to Harry, but he's practically been doing the same thing for years, going through the motions of relationships, offering charm and companionship without ever truly showing up. But for all of Harry's obvious baggage, Sally's is just as complicated, just tidier. Where Harry deflects with sarcasm, Sally deflects with control, constantly planning her way around discomfort. Though when her long-term relationship ends, she's hell-bent on efficiently moving on, constantly insisting that she's fine. Interestingly, their story is punctuated by contrasting models of romantic love. The older couples recounting how they met, which were based on real stories, remind us that love can be slow or sudden, chaotic or subtle, accidental or intentional. But when it's real, it's undeniable. That kind of enduring love haunts both Harry and Sally. It's what they secretly want but feel unequipped to pursue. Meanwhile, their best friends Marie and Jess provide a great foil that's right in front of them. 2 people who meet, feel something real, and go for it. No decade-long detour, no grand philosophical debates, just clarity and commitment. Their relationship functions as a quiet rebuke to Harry and Sally's years of self-imposed confusion. For all their healing and hours of conversation, some truths go unspoken between these 2 friends even as they try to ignore it. The same goes for grief that's been pushed aside. It doesn't disappear, it just waits. Sally keeps her emotions in check until the news of her ex's engagement touches a deeper wound.
I drove him away, and I'm gonna be 40.
And when that quiet heartbreak finally surfaces, she finds comfort with someone who makes her feel safe. She and Harry sleep together, and unsurprisingly, they mess everything up. They start to overthink every detail and try to reframe the night as a mistake until they say things they don't mean and don't say things they do mean. It's all painfully familiar to anyone who has tried to protect their heart while daring to hand it over at the same time. Harry emotionally shuts down, not because what happened between them meant too little, but because it meant too much, because it cracked through the emotional armor he'd spent years constructing. Until real intimacy forced him to question whether that armor still served him. For Sally, it's about vulnerability, about finally letting her guard down with someone she trusted and then watching him retreat. But Sally doesn't beg or spiral. She names what she feels and confronts Harry. She honors her own emotional boundaries even when it's painful. By the time New Year's Eve rolls around, Harry eventually realized what we've known all along. He's in love with Sally, and he runs through the streets of New York because no romantic comedy is complete without someone running somewhere, arrives at the party just before midnight and delivers his iconic speech.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
It's not a grand fairy tale gesture, it's an earned moment of truth. It works because we've seen the missteps that led to it. It's the culmination of years of denial, deflection, and emotional cowardice. This time, Harry shows up, not with a clever line, but with honesty. And even if the last of Sally's defenses tells Harry she hates him, she lets it all go and chooses love too, wholeheartedly, willingly, with both feet in. There's something both comforting and terrifying about watching Harry and Sally navigate toward each other. Comforting because we recognize ourselves in their neuroses and hesitations. Terrifying because we see how many chances they almost missed. How many of our own stories might be made of similar moments. Almost connections that never fully bloomed because timing, fear, or pride got in the way. But what's even more remarkable is how well the film holds up all these years, how the central questions it poses remain up for discussion. Can men and women be friends? Does sex always complicate everything? Is there one person we're meant to be with? Or do we just make the choice to be with someone and then make that choice work? Maybe in this case, the ever-evolving conversations we have around it matter more than arriving at a definite answer. It's become a sort of Rorschach test for how we feel about love at any particular time in our lives. In the end, what Harry and Sally find isn't some perfect, untarnished romance. It's about finally allowing themselves to love, be fully seen, and build something real on the foundation of genuine friendship. And maybe that's all any of us who keep watching this movie ever really want.
I'll have what she's having.
So what's your take? And have you ever had a Harry and Sally kind of relationship? Let me know in the comments. And if you love overanalyzing timeless rom-coms, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Ladies First.